Hello. Today we're going to be talking about business communication in the 21st century. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. How many of you have received or sent a text message in the last hour today? I can safely assume that a good percentage of the audience answered yes to that. We live in completely different times where our day-to-day lives revolve around our digital communications. From our home to the office, so much communication is happening behind the screen. That being said, so many of us have lost some ability to communicate effectively, especially in the workplace. This quote relates so much to what I see in day-to-day communication. We may send multiple texts and email throughout the day, but are we effectively communicating with one another? We're going to start by talking about those digital communications. How many of you have sent that text or email and then immediately after sending it find yourself wishing there was a recall button? I think we can all relate. To be professional, you must maintain neutral, maintain your tone, and clearly express your communications. With so much happening behind a screen, how do you effectively and clearly communicate? A few things to think about. When you write an email to a colleague, you should always proofread, then proofread again, and even read aloud to ensure it makes sense and it does not convey a harsh tone. Also, look at your grammar, look for errors. As a professional, our writing should also always look professional. Second, in the workplace, we're often communicating with multiple people on an email. This can cause confusion and bog down our emails. So when you write an email, make sure you consider who is included. When you reply, should you reply all or just reply to the sender individually? Email chains can easily get confused and off topic. Consider if you should email someone directly or CC them. Ask yourself who needs this information versus who will need to respond or give input. It is said that the average worker checks their email 74 times a day. Making sure that you're mindful of who's included and why ensures effective and clear communication to the right people. Otherwise, our emails can easily get lost in the mix. In the workplace, you'll assumingly talk to other coworkers. So let's next discuss our face-to-face communications. With so much communication happening behind screens, it's harder to communicate effectively and appropriately when in person. It's important to understand your coworkers, how they communicate, and be aware of your own communication style. The Johari window is one example of how interaction with coworkers is important in the workplace. Being more open and getting to know each other will also help us communicate better. Building trust and a better understanding of others and ourselves. There are 4 areas of the Johari window. First is the open or self area. Most communications happen in this area. Your attitudes, behaviors, emotions, and views are here, known to you and to others. This area can be increased by building relationships, gaining feedback. This will decrease your blind spot. Second is your blind spot. Behaviors about ourselves that others will see, but you may not be aware of. Often others will interpret you differently than you might expect. By seeking feedback from others, you can reduce that blind spot. Third is the hidden area. This is where secrets are kept, past experiences, and feelings you may not want known to others. As we build trust, this area can be reduced as we become more open to others. And last is the unknown. Past experiences or traumatic events can leave areas of unknown. These feelings, capabilities, and talents will be unknown to you and others. As we communicate openly and observe others, these qualities will become known. As we speak to others in the workplace, it is just as important to be aware of your nonverbal communications. We communicate a lot without speaking, often unaware. These nonverbal cues can drastically affect how someone receives your communication. Your body language, facial expressions, eye contact, and appearance can change how effective your communications are. Let's talk about body language. Are your arms crossed? How is your posture? Using elaborate hand gestures? When communicating with coworkers, you should be aware of those cues to avoid being perceived negatively. Keeping good posture and avoiding gestures is less distracting. Eye contact, especially important in the workplace when communicating, is eye contact. Something so simple shows respect and shows that you're listening. We also express a lot of feelings through our eyes. You can convey empathy, excitement, or even fear. Last, your posture. The impressions we leave with people can be long-lasting. Our posture can communicate confidence, strength, and respect. When communicating in the workplace, make sure you sit up straight. Show others you care about the impressions you're leaving. You will often find yourself providing information to others in the workplace. What does that look like? As technology is advancing, how we present information in the workplace is also changing. Keeping up with these changes can be overwhelming and challenging, but crucial to maintain communication in the workplace. When deciding what type of report to prepare, consider your audience first. What is your strategy? We're going to talk about two common strategies. First is the direct approach. When choosing the direct approach, this will benefit managers or employees who need information quick and to the point. Often the report will give the important information up front and offer the facts before summarizing your findings. This approach may not be appropriate for every audience, so keep a few questions in mind. Is your audience informed? Does the audience need that information quickly? And do they support your idea? Second is the indirect approach. If you're needing to present a new problem to an audience or likely persuade them towards some decision, the indirect approach may be best. You'd start by presenting the problem, then the facts, and then offer a solution. Again, important to consider your audience and consider a few things. Does the audience need persuaded? Do they need to be educated? And may they be hostile or disagree with your idea? There's a lot to consider about our communication and how we approach others in the workplace. In conclusion, as we work through our day-to-day tasks, we should be more aware of our interactions in the workplace. Whether you're communicating in writing, working with a team, or working one-on-one, how effective are you communicating? Be open to feedback from others to grow in your communication skills. Keep a few things in the forefront of your mind. Your communication etiquette in this digital age keeps a respectful and tactful interaction with coworkers. Your body language can read like a conversation, and your impressions on others will last a lifetime. I will leave you with one last thought from another quote that resonates with me. To effectively communicate, we must realize that we are all different in the way we perceive the world and use this understanding as a guide to our communication with others. Thanks.